Hi everybody, Bob Sokoler, Sokoler Team Remax Properties East. You may be able to tell I'm not in Louisville or Southern Indiana right now. I'm at the Roman Colosseum in Rome, Italy. A little bit more on a tour that I'm taking in just a moment. First, here's what's happening back in Louisville and Southern Indiana real estate. The numbers are astounding. The Federal Housing Finance Agency House Price Index shows an increase and appreciation of homes throughout the United States on average of 19.2%. Even CoreLogic is showing 18+%. And the S&P Case-Shiller U.S. National Home Price Index at a whopping 19.7%. Remember, that's nationally. Locally in Louisville and Southern Indiana, we're looking at about 15% increase in the value of our homes. That's still extremely impressive. Bill McBride, who's with a group called Calculated Risk, says, "My sense is the Case-Shiller national annual growth rate of 19.7% is probably close to a peak, and that year-over-year price increases will slow later this year." Even Ivy Zellman, who is with Zellman & Associates, says closings are set to decline roughly 10% year-over-year in the second half of 2021, and home price appreciation is on the cusp of flipping to a decelerating trend. Let's face it, price appreciation of our homes just could not continue at that accelerated rate. So the projections through 2025 are much less, but still remarkably high for anyone who owns a home. For the rest of this year, we just don't know how the real estate market will go. It depends on how many homes go on the market. There are three reasons listings may continue to increase throughout this fall and into winter. The first one, pent-up seller demand. Homeowners may be more comfortable putting their homes on the market as more and more Americans are getting vaccinated. Also, new construction is starting to take off. There'll be more options for current homeowners to consider when they do sell. The lack of options has slowed many potential sellers in the past. And finally, the end of forbearance will create new listings, but not the way you think. The end of the forbearance program will not necessarily lead to a wave of foreclosures for several reasons. Instead of going to foreclosure, homeowners will be able to sell their homes and have enough money and equity to more than cover the expenses of selling. Of course, driving all this continues to be mortgage rates, which are hovering right around 3%. As for the future into the fourth quarter of 2021 and beyond, a variety of the big names, Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, and more, are all saying interest rates will increase to 3.18% up to 3.55% in the third quarter of 2022. We do expect sales to continue on a regular basis throughout the rest of this year and into next year. In fact, we've been putting homes on the market and in some cases getting multiple offers within 24 hours for well above our list price. That should give you an idea of what is going on back in Louisville and Southern Indiana. By the way, I've come now to the middle of the Colosseum, and right behind me is what was a floor, and below the floor, which is where the lions, peasants, the people who were putting the shows together to come up on top of the Colosseum in front of all the spectators would stay. This tour down here just opened up, in case you're wondering. That's another tour from what we're doing. But this has been an eye-opening experience coming to Rome and seeing the Colosseum in person.
All the games were free. The emperor paid for everything. This is political propaganda.
That's tour guide Francesca Rossi-Pentoca. Even before we entered the Colosseum,
Inside, sir. That's fine. That's fine.
Thank you. Our vaccine cards had to be checked and approved, and bags scanned by security.
Imagine all the people around us yelling, cheering for you, or maybe booing you, depending on how much they liked you.
This is what the gladiators saw as they walked into the Flavian Amphitheater, which was later called the Colosseum, back in ancient Roman times.
We only have the skeleton of the amphitheater because before everything was covered with white marble seats. I'll show it to you. This is how the Flavian Amphitheater used to look like before. White marble seats everywhere. we could not see the corridors or the steps as we can today. Okay? But after Rome becomes a Christian empire in the 4th century after Christ, everything that was not Christian, so basically the whole city, was recycled to build new buildings, new churches.
Do we know how many people were actually killed here at any time?
We don't really know. We do know that for the inauguration of the year 80, when they did 100 days of games in a row, about 5,000 animals were killed for the games, and about 1,000 people probably. But those are the only numbers that we have.
Ancient Roman history is not for the faint of heart. In fact, here on the floor of the Colosseum, you can see the trap doors where they used to let animals into the Colosseum's fighting arena.
And the black sticks that you see coming up, those are the ones that were used to hold on the canopy. Okay, they will be like drapes going down to the center.
This tour also walked us through different floors of the Colosseum.
The arches that you see on the right side were all inside the arches. You would have seen sculptures of gods, of semi-gods. Okay, and we no longer have them because they were, as we said, recycled and got lost with time. But the arches, inside the arches, you would have seen statues.
Rome is a very busy city. The Colosseum is towards the center of it. If you listen carefully, you can even hear outside some police sirens. We're hearing those go off all the time. There are guards with machine guns at every point. They obviously want to keep this city on lockdown. This was a great tour, something I would highly recommend. I'm heading back to Louisville and Southern Indiana shortly. If you'd like to get in contact with me in terms of getting ready to list your house, or even if you're looking to buy a house, we have 10 or more buyer agents, and I'm always available to go out and help you list, get your house ready to list at least, and give you some advice. It's free of charge, no obligation. I do that all the time. Just give me a call at 376-5483. That's 502-376-5483. And one more thing, in case you have not heard, we have a fairly popular radio show on 840 WHAS. It airs every Sunday morning from 8:30 to 9 a.m. Again, that's Sundays, 8:30 to 9 a.m. on 840 WHAS, and it's all about real estate. If you'd like to send a question in to get your question on the air, we're doing COVID shows now, which means we do them via Zoom. So you can email me, bob@WeSellLouisville.com. Put in the subject line question, radio question, and the actual question in the body of the email, and I'd be more than happy to air that and talk about what the answers are. So we have attorneys, we have home inspectors, we have finance people. It's a great group of people. Anyway, that's Sunday, 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 840 WHAS. Thanks for watching. Again, if you want to get in contact with me, 502-376-5483. At the Roman Colosseum in Rome, I'm Bob Sokoler, Sokoler Team, RE/MAX Properties East.